And culturally responsive teachers understand that all students means all students. And so as I wrap things up, this little boy on the left is me. This is me in kindergarten. I've always had a dream to be the person that I am today. On the right, which is this guy right here, a couple of years ago before the pandemic, and these 20 pounds that I've gained since then. But that's nothing to say. That's who I am. That's who I saw. So one thing that I do understand is that teachers have the ability to bridge the gap. As I told y'all at the beginning, I was sitting in a class that was being ignored until this one teacher decided to see me for who I was and help build and bridge the gap between who I was at that moment and who I wanted to be. And sometimes it's hard for me to talk about this because it is my heart's passion, right? And so this teacher looked at me and said, he can do the work. And she realized that everyone that was in her classes at that moment were all white students. And here's this little black boy that's still doing amazing work. Why is he not with me? And she made the decision to give me this placement test. And that placement test changed my life because now I was with students that were expected. Here's that expectation thing. Expected to do well. I didn't know anything about honors classes, y'all. I didn't know anything about AP classes. I was a little country boy in living in my family when nobody had ever been to college. My mom went for 2 years for associates, but nobody knew anything about anything. It wasn't our world. She invited me to a world that changed my life. Culturally responsive teachers understand all means all. They do not hide away from the inequities. We do not run away from it. And so my job now is to take that to a different level. When I was in Piedmont, when I first came to Piedmont, as I told y'all, 60% of our students were Black. 30%, half of those were male and female. But when I looked into the highest level of math class at our school, 0% were male African-American males or Black males. They were not in the class. And so I, as a Black man myself, I said, that's a problem. Because I don't believe there is no one saying they're not supposed to be in there. I don't believe there's anyone saying, oh, there's a Black male, you can't come to this class. Nobody is saying that. But as we continue to produce the same results over and over again, somebody has to be like, this ain't right. And so that's personal to me, I began to think about a club that I can do to support my beautiful Black boys to make sure that by the end of 8th grade, they are in a Math 1-2 class or a Math 1 class. And so what I understand is that I started a club that's called Aftermath. I do poetry, and so these words are is a pun as well. It's just a club after math class that focuses on the aftermath of Black boys pursuing aftermath. That is what Aftermath is. And so within this club, I support these beautiful Black boys to make sure that in 6th grade, they're with me for 2 years, 6th and 7th grade, and I'm trying to make sure by the time they get to 8th grade, they are in a Math 1 or a Math 1-2 class. That is the highest level of math at a middle school. And so I can say that in the past couple of years, we have seen more Black boys in the class. This beautiful Black boy made it into the class. This beautiful Black boy made it into the Math 1-2 level class. This beautiful, where you at? Black boy made it into that class. And then Noah, where you at? Right here. This beautiful Black boy made it into the class. Now, if we didn't have a pandemic, I know that he could do the same level of work. He could do the same level of work, and he could do the same level of work. But we had a whatever. It is what it is. I now have the rest of these beautiful boys in my Math 1 class, which is still a high school class, except for one student who felt like he couldn't do the work. What I'm saying is this: I get to become the Mrs. Simmons of my generation. That's who gave me the opportunity to change my life. And if we don't recognize that we have the power to make strategic changes within our building, we will miss the wonderful opportunity of having all these 4 Black boys that are in Math 1-2 who all got 5s on the EOC back in January. All of them got 5s. So it's not a fact of whether they can do the work or not. It's the fact that we recognizing who they are. So my last point, again, is culturally responsive teachers This is what we do. All means all.